Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. Earlier this week, the carcass of a green turtle was found floating in the sea just offshore Punta Gorda town. A local tour guide came across the dead turtle and alerted officials at the Toledo Institute for Development and the Environment. The research and monitoring team at Tide documented the recovery of the carcass and confirmed that it was an adult turtle. According to Tide's terrestrial biologist Elmar Requena, a necropsy has confirmed that a virus is responsible for the death of the turtle.
This turtle was floating about 200 meters from the coast near Uno gas station. Immediately the Tide team responded and we were able to bring in this turtle. We were able to confirm that it's a green turtle, sub-adult, and as you can see, the research and monitoring team are busy getting the different parameters that we would need to collect on this individual. Thereafter, we will be performing a necropsy. A necropsy is basically similar to an autopsy in humans to look at the possible cause of death. We did some initial research, and from what we are able to confirm at this point in time, from the signs that we're seeing, is that there are a lot of warts around the base of the front flippers and along the neck. So they're very pronounced, and they're even cauliflower shaped. So from what we are able to see is that this turtle has been floating for a while. There's a lot of algae on the shell, but also on the top of the head. So it is an indication that this turtle has been floating for a while. So after doing the research, there's a common disease in sea turtles, which is a fibropapilloma, or the fibropapillomatosis. And this condition, there are different factors that could actually cause this disease, including poor water quality, or if there's a source of pollution, or even some general.
Tide's science director James Foley says that of all the sea turtle stranding that have been reported in the area, this is the first time that a case involving fibropapilloma has been detected.
For the 10 to 12 strandings, turtle strandings that we've encountered at Tide in the last 5 years, this is the first case that we have seen of this virus, fibropapillomatosis, in any turtles, with other causes in previous turtles ranging from gastrointestinal diseases to battery and the like. So the only other thing to notice about this particular turtle is that it did also have bruising on one of its flippers, and it also had a little bit of blood coming out of the mouth. Now those can be possible signs of capture, whether deliberate or accidental, and possibly if it had been captured, whoever might have captured it may have noticed that it had this virus, decided to throw it back. Now that's another possible cause for why it would be found floating dead in the waters around Port Honduras.
Foley says that instead of just discarding the carcass, Tide plans to use the remains as an education display.
We're going to use the skull and the shell for educational purposes. We've got them over in the back there. They'll just spend a couple of weeks letting the insects and bugs eat out the whatever's remaining in the shell, and that'll leave it nice and clean so that we can use it for an educational display. I'd just like to thank as well Ecomar, the research team at Tide, and also particularly Elmar for leading the necropsy, and also the Belize Fisheries Department for their continuing collaboration in allowing us to do this kind of work. So if you see any turtle strandings, whether they're dead or alive, south of Monkey River in Belize, then please don't hesitate to contact Tide at 722-2274, and as well the Punta Gorda branch of the Belize Fisheries Department.
Police today confiscated bags of marijuana and arrested one person during an early morning anti-drug operation carried out in St. Bite and Placencia villages. The pre-dawn operation started at 5:30 a.m. today and included personnel from Special Branch, the K9 unit, and uniformed police from the Placencia Police Station. According to information received, 3 houses were searched in St. Bite Village, which resulted in 1 person being arrested for possession of controlled drug. 2 separate empty lots were also searched on the north side of Placencia Village. In one of the lots, police discovered a white T-shirt, and wrapped inside were 5 plastic bags, each containing suspected cannabis. The substance was then taken to the Placencia police station, where it was weighed and amounted to 1,156 grams. Because no one was in the area at the time of the discovery, the suspected drugs was labeled as found property. Another abandoned lot was also searched in Placencia Village next to the football field, and this time police discovered a black handbag which contained 2 separate black plastic bags, each containing what police suspect as hydrocannabis, as is locally known. The drugs were also taken to the Placencia police station, where it was weighed and amounted to 231 grams. No one was in the area at the time, so the drugs was deposited as found property. Notably, the Placencia police have been very active in the fight against drugs on the peninsula and have to date discovered cocaine, crystal meth, and marijuana. It is strongly believed that the abundance of tourists visiting the peninsula has attracted drug traffickers and peddlers, and the numbers continue to grow. But Inspector Dennis Miles and his team of officers are committed to the fight against drugs on the Placencia Peninsula. On Wednesday, we reported a grave traffic accident on Baghdad Street in which 19-year-old Boyd Lopez of Regent Street West was accused of gravely injuring 70-year-old retired educator Marie Knowles when he knocked her down after losing control of a Toyota Highlander SUV around 1:30 in the afternoon. Mrs. Knowles was taken to hospital with head trauma and other injuries, and police confirmed today that Knowles died around 3:30 on Thursday afternoon from her injuries. Today, Lopez was read charges of manslaughter by negligence and causing death by careless conduct in connection with her death when he appeared before Magistrate Herbert Panton. He also faces charges of driving a motor vehicle without due care and attention, driving a motor vehicle not covered by third-party risk insurance, and driving a motor vehicle while not holding a valid driver's license. The offenses are to be tried on indictment in the Supreme Court, and so no plea was taken. Lopez was also accused but not charged with failing to render assistance and fleeing the scene of an accident, during which he collided into a fence on Baghdad Street and breaking 2 water pipes before hitting the back of a Mitsubishi Montero vehicle parked on the street. Lopez was released on bail of $5,000 and returns to court on April 17th. Lopez works for Maria Chang and Sons as a warehouse attendant, and police are said to be considering whether they should charge his boss, a Chinese businessman, for allowing someone to drive his vehicle without a license. The teenage driver told police that the vehicle, which has automatic transmission, was stuck in gear and he couldn't control it. Police officers are receiving training as part of their professional development. The recent training held at the George Price Center in Belmopan focused on changes to the judge's rules as it pertains to the recording of statements from crime suspects. Our National Affairs Editor, Gwen Nunes-Gonzalez, reports.
13 officers of the police department are being empowered to be trainers who will impart knowledge to their fellow officers regarding the changes in the judge's rules, which is how to record statements from suspects. According to Inspector Cesar Franco from the Mobile Interaction Team, the training is from the 16th to the 27th February. The 13 officers being trained at George Price Center in Belmopan, in addition to those being trained in Belize City, will sensitize other officers in the changes that are expected to improve the voiders, which are statements and caution from a suspect. The training involves exercises on how to treat prisoners within their human rights and ways to record statements from suspects, among others. The intention, as expressed by Inspector Franco, is to present evidence effectively in court. The facilitator in Belmopan is Kerry Harding from the College of Policing in the United Kingdom. For BMG News, I'm Gwen Nunes Gonzalez reporting from Garden City, Belmopan.
You're watching the 9 o'clock news. Stay tuned for more of the day's stories right after these messages.
We bring in people together. Smart is bigger. We bigger and better. Yeah. 2015 is here. Smart will be doing things bigger this year. With the best promotions out there. Free up yourself with Smart. Start your year off right with Smart. Starting January 5th, you will receive an automatic double up on your first $20 upload and triple on the first $50 upload. Upload with prepaid cards, Gimme Dollar agents, Go Mobile, or at the Smart Lounge. Double and triple when you feel like. Free up yourself with Smart. 2015 is here. Smart will be doing things bigger this year. With the best promotions out there. Free up yourself with Smart. Start your year off right with Smart.
Precision handling. High performance braking. Smooth and comfortable ride. Tame the road. Hand-cooked tires.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs. Because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The students and staff of the Belmopan Comprehensive School today said goodbye to a member of the student population who died earlier this week. With a report, here again is Gwen Nunez Gonzalez.
Belmopan Comprehensive High School family held a tribute vigil on February 19th for one of its fourth form students, Rhea Young, who succumbed to her illness this week. Rhea was in 4th Science 1, and her teachers, classmates, and friends remembered her through songs, poetry, reflections, and music. They remembered a jovial, fun-loving, encouraging, and dynamic young leader who strived to motivate her friends to do their best in school. She wanted to be a doctor. One of her passions was singing, but she also loved baking and decorating cake, writing poems and stories, leading groups, doing artistic pieces of work, chatting on Facebook, and embracing everyone with her pure heart and fun-loving personality. Her friends Diane Montero and Katia Albenio remember a true friend who ensured that they stayed on top of their studies. Her other classmates, Justin Escobar and Francisco Moreno, made a sign, and interested persons can place their signature behind the work of art. 16-year-old Rhea was a graduate of Garden City Primary School in Belmopan, where she was an active member of the Garden City Primary School Girl Guides. She is the oldest child of Natalie Pratt and sister to Iselia and Sophie. Funeral services were held today, Friday, February 20th, at Kingdom Hall in Belmopan at 2 p.m. For BMG News, I'm Gwen Nunez Gonzalez reporting from Garden City, Belmopan.
A group of youth assisted by such persons as the Mayor of Belize City, Darrell Bradley, his political opponent, Yolanda Chacron, television personality Indira Craig, Director of the Youth Apprenticeship Program, Diane Finnegan, and various teachers and youth workers, broke up a vehicle in Battlefield Park this morning in Belize City. But that's not really the news. It was why they did it. This morning saw the launch of the Belize Peer Helpers Group under the auspices of Guidelight Productions, a youth-run production company dedicated to working with youth. Its founder, Andrew Munnings, says he was motivated to begin seriously addressing youth problems after the death of 16-year-old Chrislyn Gladden, murdered and dumped in the Lordridge Cemetery last August, and expanded his work from a youth-oriented television program to one that works on the ground with youth issues. Munnings tells us about the cathartic destruction of the vehicle and what it means for Belizean youth moving forward.
Well, if we saw the car had words that brought down society, greed, jealousy, peer pressure, hate, all of those. By breaking up the car, shows Belize that we are united together to help get rid of those. Kick it out, stamp it out, whatsoever. What happens after today? What happens after today? We're training for the peer starts, training, and then after that training, the community services starts, where I intend to work them and don't give them like that chance to think about I'm going to do some kind of crap out there. We want to raise all of that and teach them how to do that in a positive way.
You know, we heard lots about organization being formed, and after a few months, after a couple of weeks, you don't hear anything about it. Would that be the case here?
That's the problem with Belizean people. We have a good idea, we launch it, but we don't see it through. That's the problem with a lot of youth organizations at hand. As you can see, this is 100% youth foundation, right? So this means that the youths here have enough and said, you know what, that time for we create something for ourselves and a time for we change our peers around.
Currently, 87 peer helpers attached to secondary schools in Belize City are members of the group along with volunteers. The organization has attracted wide support in the youth and business sectors, as well as with schools and parents, any and all of whom are dedicated to addressing the problems plaguing Belizean youth. Public Relations Officer for Guidelight Productions and the Peer Helpers Group, Sabrina Daly, describes the program's ethos.
Unlike any other youth ministry, Guidelight Productions reaches out to youths in ways relevant to them. In order to educate our youths, we need to understand how they are open to learn. Here at Guidelight Productions, we use the resources youths love to reach them and mold them into productive citizens. When working with youths, we have to be open to listening rather than just talking. We need our youths to feel that we are there to help them rather than just to judge them. We are here to change lives. We are here to give youth something positive to live for rather than negative regrets to live with. There has never been a more critical time for Belize to make meaningful contact with its young people than now. It's time that we take a different approach in the way we teach our youths, rather than just using ways that have been developed for decades and simply haven't been working. Now is the time for the young men and young women to realize that the future depends on us. We can choose to sit on the sidelines waiting for a miracle to happen, or we can wake up and realize that the miracle was indeed for us to make the difference.
During today's ceremonies, Diane Finnegan was awarded a Youth Humanitarian Award for her services to youth with the apprenticeship program. The first training for peer helpers under the program is scheduled for early March, and community service programs will begin soon thereafter. Stephen Buckley's quest for justice after being shot in the head by a senior police officer in April of 2010 has taken some twists and turns, but his latest run-in with the law has left him, if possible, even more shaken. On Wednesday night, police stopped him near Taylor's Alley and found an undetermined amount of cannabis. That is, the amount was so small it could not be weighed on the scale. Nonetheless, he was taken to court before Senior Magistrate Sharon Frazier and pleaded guilty, saying that he uses the marijuana to relieve his aches and pains from the bullet pellets still lodged in his head and lungs, as well as to calm him down. The magistrate was unmoved, saying that the court had shown enough mercy and he needed to settle outstanding fines of $360 from 2 previous convictions for 0.4 grams of cannabis possessed and possession of a pipe, for which he was charged along with several family members and friends in May of 2014. Because he was not able to settle those fines, he was sent to prison for a period of 3 months in default and fined a further $150 due by March 31st for the current charge. But after spending the overnight in Hattieville, he is a free man tonight, thanks to the generosity of Belize City residents who raised several $100s collected early on Friday morning by businessman and political aspirant Gilroy Usher Sr. But before we tell you about that donation, we bring you Buckley's comments on his ordeal, including a chilling threat delivered by one of the officers who made the Wednesday night bust in relation to his partial award of $100,000 given for those injuries he received in 2010.
Well, when they come and pick me up and then charge me when I reach the roads, I tell the officer now for going like that to me. Oh, yeah, what the officer say? He said, we get back everything out of you. Every little way I take out of your back. You know, they play with you. Every penny where you're the suit to go the police, I take back everything out of you.
Now you've been charged for a 3rd time now. Do you know if it's the same group of officers?
Well, the same group of policemen and they harassed me for that, you know. And then between the 2 charges, for the first 2 charges I get, each charge I'm $50, so each charge I get. All of a sudden, my charge got a 3 change.
Buckley also said the officer weighing the marijuana tried to put his hand inside the scale to get a reading of the weight of the drug. He quoted the senior magistrate as saying he was partying and ignoring his responsibility to pay the fine. But in reality, he says, his award ran out at least 9 months ago. He spent most of it on furnishing his George Street residence, paying off old debts, and being rather generous with friends who have now abandoned him. He was near tears as he described his daily worries for providing for his family without a steady job.
Well, due to my wife take care of my landlord. And every other month we get the money, and the money where we get, we eat still. But then sometimes on the bus, we pay some I get money for care from my big son at school. I cry a lot sometimes where I can't do it I used to do. I used to make $800 every week out of my work due to my trade. I know I can't make that $800 again, so now I cry about that, my man. Because then I can't do it again.
What was your trade, sir?
Construction, cement, lay blocks and stick tile and everything now, and plumbing. Yeah, my skill.
You're a hard worker.
Yeah. No, I can't do it again, so now I cry now because I can't do the hard work I used to do.
As we previously noted, Buckley was sent to prison regarding child maintenance support last October and had just gotten out before his current troubles. This morning in Belize City, Gilroy Usher Sr. rallied city residents to contribute to paying the fines, and we met him at Buckley's residence delivering the remainder of the money as a contribution. He told us why he was motivated to step forward.
Okay, last night when I saw the news, I was very upset because I know Mr. Buckley as I have a business around here, and I thought it was an injustice was done to him, especially considering the fact that some money from the government is spending to him. So I figured that something could have been worked out with that $200. So on seeing that, I immediately decided, no man, we can't let a brother who is down go down like this, and so I decided I'm going to help him. So this morning I got this crystal board with this thing, and I went around and I asked for donation to help Mr. Buckley. And in this short space of time, I was able to raise, I would say, about $350. A lot of people gave small donation like $2, $5. A couple person gave $10. So the show of support for him was overwhelming, right? And I'm happy to be a part of that, knowing that when the brother is down, I took the opportunity to come out and help him, right? Because I believe that when a brother is down, you should come out and help a brother who is down.
We are told that an employee of a major business chain also contributed to Buckley's family today. A group of donors who wish to remain anonymous has paid the outstanding court fines. Meanwhile, the criminal case against his accused shooter, Inspector Dennis Lopez, is adjourned in the Supreme Court. The attorney who handled the discussion of the original award to Buckley, Richard Dickey Bradley, says that case will weigh heavily on the amount of the final payment to the former construction worker, whose injuries have made it unlikely he will be able to work for himself ever again. A couple and their relatives are accused of assaulting multiple police officers at the Raccoon Street Police Station on Wednesday afternoon. However, they are telling the story in reverse, claiming that they were defending themselves against abuse by the police. 38-year-old Felix Vanegas, his common-law wife, 32-year-old Mexican national Reina Mayo, and his sister, 28-year-old Reina Vanegas Silva, were read multiple charges related to assault of a police officer before Senior Magistrate Sharon Frazier. Vanegas is accused of assaulting Sergeant of Police Dirk Dyer, Detective Constables Uribe Alamia and Ronell Flowers, and Officer Anthony Simpson. But in court, Vanegas lifted his shirt and showed the magistrate bruises on his body, which he said he got from the officers who allegedly took him to the back of a cell and beat him with a gun in the darkness. According to Vanegas, the police later took him to a doctor who examined him and prescribed medication. However, Vanegas alleges that the officers refused to give him the prescription, saying they would only do so after he pleaded guilty to his charges. Mayo was charged with obstruction for stepping in to stop Sergeant Dyer from restraining her husband and the assault of WPC Charit Ciego. Silva is charged with one count of assaulting a police officer, namely Sergeant Dyer. The trio pleaded not guilty and were each released on bail, $2,000 for Vanegas, $5,000 for Mayo, and $1,000 for Silva. Mayo's bail was granted on the condition that she obtain a Belizean surety and that she does not leave the country without permission of the court. The case is adjourned until April 22nd. 32-year-old Honduran fisherman Giovanni Murcia and Belizean 48-year-old Emilio Novello were read charges related to fisheries violations in the courtroom of Senior Magistrate Sharon Frazier. Novello, who has a valid fisherman's license, pleaded guilty to facilitating Murcia in engaging in commercial fishing in Belize without holding a fisherman's license. And Murcia pleaded guilty to engaging in commercial fishing in Belize without a license. They have also each pleaded guilty to possession of 57 pieces of fish fillet without the skin. Police made the bust on February 7th at Turnef Atoll. Novello was fined a total of $1,080, while Murcia was fined a total of $1,040. Novello was given until March 31st to pay. Murcia was ordered to pay immediately, which he did, and he was released. Zone eliminations leading up to the National Coca-Cola Spelling Bee continues around the country. Today in Belmopan, Zones 6 and 7 in the Cayo District chose their champion spellers, as we hear in this report from Gwen Nunez Gonzalez.
The first elimination for the National Coca-Cola Spelling Bee was for Zone 6 at 9:30 a.m. at the George Price Center in Belmopan. 18 representatives from 9 schools battled for the opportunity to represent their zone in the district finals on April 23rd. At the end of the exciting rounds, Kathleen Cabanas from El Shaddai SDA got the first place trophy. Benita Kaal from Kushlinha Government School received the second place award, and Deborah Sunday from Our Lady of Guadalupe RC was third. Kathleen and Benita will represent Zone 6, and Deborah is the alternate in the event one of the other students cannot represent their zone. At 1:30 p.m., Zone 7 students from 7 schools also demonstrated their spelling skills and braved the chilly weather to ensure their spot in the district finals. At the end of 6 rounds of spelling, Darlon Usher from Belize Christian Academy ranked first. Diane Jones and Julian Kute from St. Joseph RC ranked second and third respectively. The annual competition is sponsored by Bowen & Bowen Limited under the coordination of officers from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports. Mrs. Isara Williams coordinates the spelling bee for the Cayo District with assistance from principals who are zone coordinators. For BMG News, I'm Gwen Nunez Gonzalez reporting from Garden City, Belmopan.
The news on the national channel.
We bring in people together. Smart is bigger. We bigger. And better. Yeah. 2015 is here. Smart will be doing things bigger this year. With the best promotions out there. Free up yourself with Smart. Start your year off right with Smart. Starting January 5th, you will receive an automatic double up on your first $20 upload and triple on the first $50 upload. Upload with prepaid cards, Gimme Dollar agents, Go Mobile, or at the Smart Lounge. Double and triple when you feel like. Free up yourself with Smart. 2015 is here. Smart will be doing things bigger this year. With the best promotions out there. Free up yourself with Smart. Start your year off right with Smart.
Precision handling. High performance braking. Smooth and comfortable ride. Tame the road. Hankook tires.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs, because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Somebody say, live me like it. Live me like it. Somebody say, live me like it. Somebody say, live me like it. Live me like it. Live me like it.
To end the news, a reminder of the main points again. Officials from the Toledo Institute for Development and the Environment, TIDE, have concluded that a virus is responsible for the death of a green sea turtle that was found in the sea offshore Punta Gorda earlier this week. And a new initiative focusing on youth was launched today in Belize City. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Our news lines remain open at all times, and you can visit our website for continuing coverage of the latest news from across the country. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a safe and an enjoyable weekend. Good night.